What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This is the competition entry Ford F100, modded in by Payne. It's what everyone's going to be, well, has been working on the past couple of weeks while we've done this wonderful competition. Ours has got a few custom details to it. It's going to look pretty awesome. We got some bonus parts covering up some of the suspension. We'll gloss over that as quickly as we can. We've got a couple of hydraulic pumps in here because this car is so slammed that I think we're going to need some pretend hydraulics in there for when we're driving it. We're not going to be racing this one today. I want you guys to give me a score out of 10 for the finished product so we can get this one on our show car board up there. Where's it going to fit? Hopefully in that top 4, because the top 4 cars are all parked out the front. So that's what we're aiming for today. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get in and let's take a look. As you know, it is the Ford F100 modded in by Payne, as I just said. Ours today is called the Grim Sleeper. This will all be a bit more evident, a bit more later on. Unless you actually looked at the thumbnail, then you'll understand it fully. But there we go. We got this one from the auction house, as per normal. It's pretty bad. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. Body parts, body parts? Mechanical parts-wise, not too bad at 52%. The rest of it is a little low, but we're not too worried about that. Did we get a good deal for our little truck? Absolutely not. 25,126 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 22,712, losing out on 2,414 before we even begin. Hopefully, we can claw that one back, although we're definitely not going to be selling this vehicle a little bit later on. The engine I've gone for today is Multi's Modular Coyote engine. It's not going to be stock in any way, shape, or form. You're going to have to wait to see that one built up and ready to go. And then hopefully when we get this finished, you're going to love it. And you're going to score it all 10 out of 10s across the board. And it is going to go on the top of the show car board. Now, obviously, this is for our Discord competitions. Our previous winners sit on this board here and that board up there. We've got plenty of them to go through. Sometimes we have prizes, but most of the time, as is for this one, is just bragging rights. Links in the description below. So make sure you head over to Discord to check that one out. It is mostly for fun. But now, on to today's beautiful Grim Sleeper Ford F100. This is a very dusty, dirty wreck, so let's get it into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with the Grim Sleeper. It's still a beautiful looking truck, but let's get it cleaned so it doesn't look so dirty anymore. Hopefully my livery isn't already on there, although you have seen the thumbnail, so you probably know. But that is a lovely, lovely dark colour. I don't know if it's black or grey, or if it's just that door panel that's a bit grey, but there we go. Get the interior done, get this beast back on the lifter, get that coyote ripped out of that engine bay, and get everything else stripped down. The soon-to-be Grim Sleeper, not quite, is up in the air. Do we have an oil pan? We do, so we do need to get all of that drained out. So over with the oil drain tool, and let's get you going. Not bad. I mean, it is pretty dark, but there we go. It is what it is. Plenty of oil in there, so it was relatively well looked after. Now, you can obviously see we've got the side pipe exhaust going on, obviously, into our bonus part side pipes on there. So these are all matched up. I had to do something very funky in the middle. If you look at that, that is the XJ220 front exhaust section, but there's 2 of them slightly angled just to try and blend in and make all of this work. A little bit of fun, but there we go. Let's get started with that starter. Out you come. And then we'll get these lovely drive shaft out. Nice and easy. Out you go. And all rusty bolts. First section of rusty bolts down at the back there. Out you come. There we go. We'll grab the fuel pump as we're here. And we'll grab all of this exhaust as well, just so you can see it all coming out. Out you come. Out you come. Out you come. And out you come. Yes, the front ones are facing backwards and the rear ones are facing forwards. Just to make it all fit in and just look as nice as I could possibly get it. And there we go, off with the gearbox. Let's get this beast back on the ground. Get that engine ripped out of there and start stripping that engine bay. Obviously, I'm assuming we got some liquids to drain today. We will check all of that in just a moment. First off, though, let's get the Coyote ripped out. It came out. That's what we like. Nice and easy. Get the crane put away and then see what we've got going on in the engine bay. Obviously, to start with, a big old front radiator there with a radiator fan housing kit with the 2 fans. We have a coolant reservoir. We have a power steering reservoir. We have a brake servo. I think I took out the wishy-washy reservoir because I felt I didn't need it, but there we go. We do also have the fuse box up here, which is inside the dashboard, I believe. The ECU is also in the dashboard there. And obviously, we got that ABS pump and module. We took out the fuel pump earlier, so we knew that was already there. So I'm just going to crack on and start stripping some liquids. We all know how to do it by now. Right-click, additional tools, drain tool. Click and hold on the container, and it will drain all the liquid out. It is that simple. I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this all stripped, and then get it all repaired, replaced, or upgraded. When we come back, it'll be time to sort out the bodywork for this beautiful Grim Sleeper Ford F100. There we go then. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on the Grim Sleeper. That's everything apart from this bodywork. So let's start stripping it off. Do you think we should have started with the bonus parts? I might just leave the bonus parts on, you know, and get the rest of this off. Is the front bumper a thing? No, but the front license plate is a thing. I definitely need you off of there. What else have we got round here? You wouldn't think that I, designed this or anything, so I should know roughly where everything goes, but I really don't. Out you come, out you come. I'm going to leave the bonus parts on just for the time being. I know it's going to look weird in here, but there we go. It's because all the suspension does clip up through there. Can't see it obviously right now, but there we go. I'm gonna leave all these bonus parts on. The only thing I'm gonna do is take some of them off later to paint them separately. They want to be body colored. That wants to be separate. That wants to be separate. That wants to be separate. Plus our few bits inside. A couple of extra gauges, although it does look like we are missing one. Are we missing a gauge? We are missing a gauge. I'll have to figure that one out a bit later on. Plus our hydraulic switches are just down here as well. Just a couple of extra gauges for good measure. On the interior, though, we definitely need to get that steering wheel out of there, and you will definitely not be going back in. But is that everything? Obviously, apart from them bonus parts. Body at 2%. No. Oh, I forgot. Front bumper. Oh, my God. I missed loads. I missed absolutely loads. That tiny little piece there that I couldn't even see is the front bumper. Out you come. Wow, I was paying no attention to that. Rear bumper, that's clearly a piece. And what else was it that I missed? I can't remember. That's not the right screen. Car Part 1D. I don't even know what Car Part 1D is. Should we go into the shop? We're going to head in there anyway, so let's head into the shop. Fresh import goods, the Ford F100. 1D is the window trim around the windshield. Of course it is. There we go. That's all of that out now. Now we'll sort the welding out before we do that. Frames at 18%, and I bought the truck for a little over 25,000. What are we saying? I'm going to say 950. 500. Way off, but there we go. Let's have a look at the body shop for all of the stuff for the Ford F100. There is 5 pages, but there isn't too much going on. You've got multiple trims. Trim with the window wipers, trim without the window wipers. Hence why I took out the wishy-washy reservoir, because we're not using window wipers. And you got rear trims, which is obviously the fuel door on the side as well. Black trim. You know what we're going for on here. The rear bumper, the front bumper, sorry, was just a license plate holder, not an actual front bumper on there. But the front end is definitely on there. And I'm not sure which one I've gone for, but it'll be going back together exactly as it came apart. Doors, definitely going to be the black trims, and I do like the running boards, so we're going to stick with the running boards. I think I've gone for a plain hood, but I am tempted to change it to this black badge Ford one. We shall see. I'm going to stick with the same headlights, probably for the painted ones, because I think they will look better, and definitely the black trim mirrors. Rear lights, we're going for these beautiful upright neon-y looking type LED things. The rear bumper, as I say, I really can't remember what the rear bumper was. Or even if I had one on there. I'm sure it's probably shaved bumper or something like that. I can't remember. I know it's meant to blend in a lot like the front. For the rear clamshell, we're not going for the cover. I normally do like this cover. We're definitely not going for a tow truck. That is not my theme. Probably something along these lines. I can't remember what I've put on there, but we will find out in a little while. Some wide fenders, things like that. And a few rear bumper options. Obviously, our most important thing is getting this into the paint shop and getting that beautiful livery on it. So let's get this one put away. Let's get all the body panels sorted, get them back together, and head into the paint shop. Here we go then. That's everything ready to go back on our beautiful, beautiful Grim Sleeper Ford F100. Let's just go through the bonus parts. We've obviously got the lovely side exit exhaust there. Absolutely incredible. Random shapes, obviously not available to everybody. Cover up some of the suspension. And then we've got the hydraulic pumps just here for our pretend hydraulic system in this truck, because it is very low. Got our hydro switches just down here. And then we've got a boost gauge, a oil pressure gauge, and a water temperature gauge just up there, considering this is going to be an epic engine when it comes to it. But let's get this body all back together, starting with our front bumper, which is the license plate holder. On you go just there. The front end is actually the painted Mercury front end. It's just the one I like the look of the best. In you go there. And obviously the painted headlights, as I said about earlier. For the time being, I have kept the plain blank hood. trunk, I nearly said then. Plain blank hood with no badging on it. We'll see how it works with the livery a bit later on. Maybe I might swap it, maybe we won't. Side fenders there with the running boards, or the front fenders, should I say, with the beautiful running boards going down the side. And then the doors are the black trim, along with some black trim around the window. And then we just got the standard windshield and the windows in the side there with the black trim mirrors. On we go. Rear window is just what it is. And then car part 2, which is the black trim rear window. It also includes the fuel door just on there. That's the black one instead of the chrome one. Nice and simple. Painted boards with the black trim on the rear clamshell there. Just got the bits in between, painted black, and obviously the slats in a body colour instead of a wood. I do quite like wood, but not today. We're leaving it off today. We got the Ford rear trunk on there looking nice. And the fenders are obviously the wide body fenders, just to give it a bit more extra stance on there. Lovely lights, in you go. And then we've got that rear bumper, which is just the shaved rear bumper. And then onto the other side, in with the door, in with the window mirror. And that should be it apart from plates. And I haven't bought any plates, so I'm going to have to go and do that in a second. But before we do that, let's get the interior in. The steering wheel, we've gone for the virtual mechanic steering wheel because why not? Thank you very much, Multiply, for these. They are fantastic, and I love them. In you go there. For our seats today, we've gone for the Bench Gold Trail B. It just fits in a little bit better than the standard one, in my opinion, and no offence, Payne. But there we go. That should be everything apart from the plates. So I do need to go and get some plates. Let's just double check. We have sort of got everything. 92. I think that's it without plates. I don't think we are missing anything. All the bonus parts are on. So we'll get this into the paint shop. I will buy some plates because I accidentally forgot. Get them on, and then we'll get it painted. The Grim Sleeper, all painted, ready to go with the beautiful livery, which we'll see in just a minute. But I do need to get my front plate on. I've gone for VM Grim on my VM plates today. And yeah, they still haven't fixed the colour, but never mind. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Get them plates on, and then let's check out this stunning livery on the hood there. We've got this beautiful black and white / grey Grim Reaper going in our orange surround there, looking very, very nice. Beautiful on there. Obviously, we've got the orange on that front end with a little bit of black around the headlights, just slightly added in there for a bit more extra. Down here, we've got a lovely little skull totem pole kind of thing with an orange glow. Another skull totem pole with another orange glow. And then another Grim Reaper with a little crow on it and a beautiful scythe with the orange glow. We've also got our little kickouts here on our livery wrapping around that Grim Reaper on there. More totems at the back with a couple of skull layouts and Grim Sleeper written across it in a roof match colour grey with a bit of an orange glow to it. And we've just got another skull down here just for good measure. The other side is exactly the same, but on our trunk piece here, or our deck lid, whatever you want to call it, we've got this beautiful ferryman Grim Reaper looking absolutely stunning. I love that piece. Then if we go up a little bit, I'm just going to have to put some torch on to see this a bit better. We've got a lovely Grim Reaper art style thing with a slightly orange sort of tree just on the end there, finishing it off. It is mirrored on the same other side, exactly the same. And then we've got another Grim Reaper ferryman up the front there, in between our hydraulic pumps. Looking very, very good. We do also have one more piece on the roof. Oh, I need to go into normal mode. Then I can go into photo mode. Make sure it's in focus to go up in the air. On the roof here, we've got this lovely orange Grim Reaper. Come through the ceiling. Grim Reaper and the moon. Orangey black silhouette, which is looking absolutely beautiful. And I am really impressed with this truck. We've got some orange on them side pipe exhausts, looking beautiful. Obviously orange on the wonderful hydro pumps. A little bit of orange trim around the side there, and then this orange going up the top with the grey roof. It looks fantastic. If we open the door, the bench is in orange and black. This steering wheel's in orange and black with that Virtual Mechanic logo on there in the centre in orange. Our hydro pump just down the side there is in orange and black, and all our dials are in a lovely orange. It is looking absolutely fantastic. So incredibly pleased with this. I can't wait to get it going. If we open up the engine bay, I picked the roof colour grey inside the engine bay. So we're going to make the engine black and orange. Hopefully it's going to look awesome. And we've got the bolts in what's meant to be a body matched grey for this lovely interior colour. We'll see how that turns out a little bit later on when we get the engine all painted and thrown into the engine bay. So now I'm going to crack on, get everything painted, get this beast back on the lifter and start getting it all back together. That's everything painted on the Grim Sleeper, looking beautiful. I am so impressed with this. I might have said that a couple of times, but I love this one. Let's get the shocks together. We got orange shocks and black springs today, going the other way around on the fronts there. Looking very nice. Let's start getting some of this in. We're going to jump down the back, because some assembly required with this rear drive axle. So in we go with the actual axle itself. And then we're going to nip around the back here, and we're going to get in that pinion bearing. Then we're going to pop on the rear diff and pinion bearing. In you go. And then the actual main differential, inside you go with a couple of bearing caps on top of it. First sign of our lovely grade screws today. Obviously not the normal shiny metallic, but some sort of matte grey on there, or matte-ish grey. It has got a bit of shine to it, but it still looks pretty good on there. Do you have to nip back around to the front, though, to get that diff pinion flange on there and get that one bolted up. We can put the drive shaft in, even though we've got no engine in today at the moment. But anyway, that's enough of that down the back. We'll come back to this in just a moment. Let's get back up the front and start getting some of this in. Rear suspension cross member in the beautiful orange on there. We've got a steering rack in black, and if we swing around to the front, the sway bar is also in a black on there. Now we're going to jump together with a couple of clips of this all going in, hopefully looking fantastic, and I'll see you all in just a moment. There we go then, one half of the suspension all done, and I've gone for normal brake discs, I mean still performance brake discs, but not TK Aftermarket brake discs today, which is why the hubs are a little bit bigger than they are. I'm kind of going for it, oversized hubs. We can upgrade later if we need to. Also, normal brake calipers, normal pads, and normal pinions on there as well. Pinions, pistons, whatever they're called. Just finishing it off. Orange into the black from the front there. And then obviously we've got a few odd coloured bushings. We've got black bushings in there where it connects to the orange. Same we've got at the front there. And then orange where it's in that black arm. And it is all looking very good with a black shock down at the back there. Up the front, if I could ever get there. There we go, very far away. It is very similar, just slightly alternating with the shock colours just there. Central piece is still in the orange, lots of splashes of black, and it is looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with it. But let's crack on a little bit further. Fuel tank in you go, just in a matte black, and the fuel pump in a lovely orange under there. I don't even know if we can actually see this from the underside. We'll check it a little bit later on when we come to that. But for now, I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this rear and front suspension all in. And then when we come back, we'll sort out this engine bay before going and building Multiply's lovely Coyote engine. Honestly, I do not think you can go wrong with black and orange. Such a good colour combination, and it works pretty much with anything. We've got grey on the roof there and lots of white splashed around the body, and it still looks fantastic. But let's crack on. Let's get our engine bay all sorted. We're going to jump straight up here. The fuse box is in a lovely orange, but that's inside the dash, so we won't ever see it anyway. Brake servo just is what it is. ECU Stage 3 Type B. Also inside the dash, can't be painted anyway. Power steering reservoir in its base colour. The ABS pump is in an orange with the module in a black. And some more lovely grey bolts just going on there, finishing it all off. Looking nice. Spin around towards the front. There isn't really much in this one. Coolant reservoir, we have painted you today in a cheeky little black. We'll come back to the radiator in a second. If we nip down a bit lower, we've got the battery tray in a black with our lovely performance battery in there. And then we've got the Ford battery tray bracket. It is a Ford F100, that makes sense. In an orange, it's very dark, but the Ford lettering comes up very nice in the orange there. And then some orangey, matte orange chrome bracket rods. Does that kind of make sense? That doesn't make sense. I've been an idiot with that one. Should have just used the normal bracket rods, but never mind. In we go with the radiator. We have just done that one in black. We will check that one out in a moment. With the fan housing kit in orange, along with the two fans as well. All very bright from that front end. The reason I've done the radiator black is because from here, if we had the radiator in orange underneath it, it would be orange, orange, orange. Whereas this puts a bit of separation in them vents, in that grille, in that front end, whatever you want to call it, with a splash of extra black. But there we go. That's the engine bay all sorted. I am missing a shock from the other side of my suspension. I definitely need to go on and get that one fixed. I can't believe I missed that one. Such an obvious piece. But we'll come back to that because before we do that, we need... Actually, can I do that now? Should we do that now? Let's run in and just quickly do that. And then we'll go and do the engine. I bet I haven't even assembled it. I missed the sway bar as well. What is going on? In with the orange sway bar. shock. Oh, it is assembled. There we go. I just completely missed it. I saw the wheel, figured we were done. Never mind. It's done now. Looking a little bit better in there. The reason I want to see that is because the reason the shocks are orange is just to get splash more orange inside the empty engine bay. It'll definitely look better by the time we get that engine in there. So let's go and build that into the other room, onto this beautiful multiplies modular Coyote. It's actually really hard to say. So up here, we've got 2 camshafts on either side with 4 camshaft caps per camshaft, 8 per side. So it's 4 camshafts in total, 16 camshaft caps, and 8 spark plugs in total. Nice and easy. We're just going to carry on. We've got cam gear Bs on either side, along with a timing chain also on either side. In you go and in you go. And then the cam gear A's on top of them. Nice and simple. Then a big old timing chain in the middle with another big old timing chain in the middle. Lovely little zoom in there. I'll take that. It was accidental, but it worked in my favor. One pair of shoes, not a couple of pair of shoes. Couple of timing chain shoes is what I was meant to say on there. Just finishing that off before we throw the big orange timing cover on the front there. Looking very nice. All bolted up. Nice and easy. Then we got a lot of black stuff under here. The water pump is in a black, along with the crankshaft pulley. In you go there. Then we've got the power steering pump also in a black. And the alternator in a black on the other side. There we go. Looking pretty good. Idle rollers, there's 2 on this engine. 1A, 1B. They are both in black and looking good. The water pump pulley, though, that is in a bright orange on the front. And we also did go for the TK Aftermarket boosted one, which is actually for the supercharged engine, but does fit if you want to do the turbo one like we're doing. On with the normal belts, just blacked out in there. 1 on that side, 1 on the other side. We've got the last idle roller, and then we've got the belt tensioner. I've also gone for the TK Aftermarket belt tensioner, which again is for the supercharged one, but it does fit in this one just about. There is a little bit of clipping on this belt if I zoom right into it, because it's not built for this one. As you can see, it just kind of catches a little bit there rather than being the full-size belt. But that's because we're using the wrong pieces. This isn't a supercharged engine. This is a twin-turbo one. So the intake manifold is the turbo intake / cooler in that black and orange, and it is looking fantastic. Loving that on there. Then we're going to crack on and get these fuel rails in. They are black and orange, obviously keeping up with that colour theme. Looking fantastic. Then we got our, before we do the engine head covers, oil filter just down here in a black. Up here, we've got the fuel filter in an orange. There we go. Now we do the head covers. I've gone for my Virtual Mechanic valve covers. Thank you again, Multiply. Absolutely fantastic. Powered by Virtual Mechanic in the black and orange. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Also, the logo on there is the same logo that is on my steering wheel, and it's in the same colour. So it looks fantastic. Ignition coils in. We've just got 4 of these on either side. And I've just done them in the same orange. Looking very nice. Other head cover in you go. Get you all bolted up. Get them ignition coils in. And then we'll move on to our lovely exhaust manifolds and some other fancy little bits for the front of this engine. In we go. You can see that there is a throttle that is definitely not lined up here. That will change in just a moment. But let's get on with these exhaust manifolds. There we go. Twin turbo plus header in the black and orange. It looks so good. I love this. I am so impressed with this. I'm hoping it scores within the top 4 so we can keep this one outside in the shop, or not quite in the shop, in the car park for the shop, I guess. So do remember to give it a score out of 10. The higher it is, the higher it sits on the board. And obviously we'll do an average based on what everyone who has voted decides. And there we go. That is our lovely Throttle B. It's not called Throttle B. To go with this twin turbo engine, it looks absolutely fantastic. But the real test is what will it look like inside our beautiful truck. The Grim Sleeper. Let's go and get you dropped in. This thing is absolutely insane. In you go. Pop the crane away. We'll go into photo mode because the truck's a bit high up at the moment. We'll make sure it's in focus. We will put a bit of torch on there as well. That's looking absolutely beautiful. Loving it. I'm so glad I made the engine bay grey. I think if it was black, it would have been too much. The grey adds in, obviously, because we've got that grey at the top there, but it looks so nice inside the engine bay with the blacks and orange. Loving it. So let's get it up in the air. Get the last few pieces in. Gearbox, exhaust, and that drive shaft, if it fits. Hopefully it fits. Fingers crossed. Let's get in underneath and get started. We are just going to start with the gearbox. In you go. It says it's orange, but it's black, with a splash of orange just on the side there. Looking very good. Then we got the starter in a lovely orange on there. In you go. And our drive shaft, if I could get it in. I didn't go for the carbon fiber one today. I have gone for an alternate one, but we just went for the aluminium one just for a look. and just see what it looks like, basically. And we kept it in the orange. Lots of orange on the underside. It is looking fantastic. Then we got our front exhaust pipes. Obviously, this is all in the orange to match in with them side pipes exhaust on the outside, even if it is quite a few pieces. And then onto them rear mufflers. In you go, and in you go. And then we've just got wheels to do. That's it. So let's take a walk out. As I said, black and orange from the underside there. Looking nice. Nice splash of grey in the middle. Bit more orange as we come out. And a lot more black on there. And it is looking so good. I am very, very impressed with this one. Let's get it back down on the ground. We've got windows to tint. We got liquids to top up. And we've got some wheels to do. And once all that's done, we'll get this beautiful truck outside in the sun. Well, there she is, all finished with the beautiful Ford F100 Grim Sleeper Edition with a beautiful custom livery, some extra bonus parts, and I'll be honest, just looking absolutely fantastic. Slammed down to the ground with our make-believe hydraulics. Slammed down to the ground, but looking absolutely fantastic. I love this truck and that twin-turbo Coyote engine in there. Thank you, Multiply. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Let's talk about these rims. We went for the Rim Retro 11 today, and they are a 20-inch rim with a 225 width and a 30 profile on there on the classic white wool tires with the black and orange on the rims, and even got black bolts on the rims, even though the bolts everywhere else are in a lovely grey. It is looking very nice. The rears are exactly the same size. It is the same on all four corners. That is a 20-inch rim, 225 width, and a 30 profile on there. Beautiful. Let's get in. Loving the bench. I think the bench looks great. Let's get in. Take a seat. We've obviously got our little hydraulic pumps just down there and our lovely gauges just up there. The bench painted beautifully. Steering wheel, not so much. The outside of the wheel isn't the best, but the internal bits with the orange logo on the center is looking beautiful. But let's get this one started and see what this twin turbo Coyote sounds like, even though there'll probably be no turbo whistles. It's the Coyote engine. We all know what it sounds like. Nice little tick over. Quite grumbly, quite mean. Give it some gas. Sounding mean at the top end. Not that it matters. We aren't racing this one today, but we will get it on the dyno so we can see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating would be. Here we are on the dyno with the Ford F100 Grim Sleeper, powered by Maltese and Modular Coyote twin turbo version. 583 factory horsepower. Now that we've tuned it and modified it, what will it be? Let's have a look. A gain of 843 horsepower, 145%, almost an engine and a half on top, bringing us up to 1,425 horsepower from this beautiful truck with a drag rating of A 774. Not quite at the full top end, but definitely in that A class. Not that we're racing it today, but let's check out the gearbox tuning. That's what I've gone for. 2.5 ratio. I was going to say 2.5, but that doesn't work. 2.5 ratio, 91k in first gear, up to 424 kilometers an hour in its fifth gear. I'll be honest, I only messed with the ratio. I haven't adjusted any of this because we're not racing it. Doesn't need it. But I have fully tuned the ECU so we can get as much power as we could out of that beautiful Coyote engine. Link up here if you want to learn how to easily tune the ECU every time without fail. It is nice and simple. There's also a link in the description below, as long as one, so you can go and do the carburetors as well. They're both very simple. Look up the shorts on my channel. It's very easy to find. But that's it. That is it for this one. We're going to go back outside, say goodbye to the truck, see if we could sell it on for a bit of profit. But most importantly, I want you, yes, you at home, you watching, whether you like it or not, give me a score out of 10. If you could give me a 0.1, it's a thing. If you really want to do that, you could. Or you could give me a straight up 10 out of 10, and we can get this one as high as we can on the beautiful show car board. Well, there it is, all finished with the beautiful Ford F100 Grim Sleeper for the Discord competition. It is absolutely fantastic. Do give me a score out of 10 so we can decide where this is going to go on our beautiful show car board. It is completely up to you. Give it a score out of 10. I'll work out the average, and then that's where it'll end up on the beautiful show car board. But now let's talk some facts and figures about this beautiful Ford F100. I bought the car for $25,126 the very beginning of the episode, and we could have sold it at a loss of just under $2,500 as it was, which is a bit bad, but it is what it is. We obviously didn't do that. We've since spent a further $84,441 upgrading, tuning, modifying, and painting this beautiful Grim Sleeper Ford F100. I absolutely love it. It is stunning. We spent a total of $109,576. Is there some money to be made from this beautiful little truck? Let's get in Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete, almost 500,000 kilometers on this truck. Not far to go. I'm sure we could probably get there eventually. I wonder if that's actually a challenge we could achieve that. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something we'll come back to another time. But anyway, all 100% complete. Looking absolutely fantastic. Multis and Modular Coyote in there, tuned from 583 factory horsepower up to 1,425. An increase of 145%. But the real question is there some money? If we were to sell this beautiful truck, we spent 109,567. And we could sell it for 117,265. Not the greatest amount of profit, 7,698, but profit is a profit nonetheless. Absolutely fantastic. Do leave me a comment with a score out of 10. I will very much appreciate it. And then we can get this beautiful car onto the show board. You've got until the release of Monday's video when that comes out so we can get this onto the board by Wednesday. So do let me know in the comments below. We're definitely not selling this bad boy, though. We were keeping it. It will take one of these 4 spots, potentially, as long as it ends up in the top 4. So give it a score out of 10, and we'll figure that one out. What have we got coming up next? This is the Ford Mustang. You've seen this one many a times before. Let's have a look. This is the 2005 Ford Mustang, a base edition car. We got it from the auction house. It's pretty bad, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. It's in bad condition. We've got our work cut out on this one, but we won't be keeping it the base version. We are going to turn this into the Hot Wheels drag race. Absolute monster machine, and I can't wait for it. This is what we are going to be doing on Monday, not on Friday. Friday is going to be the last episode the last episode for a little while of City Skylines, because next week City Skylines 2 comes out, and I'm very excited for it. So next Friday, not the Friday coming up, the following Friday, we will be playing City Skylines 2. So make sure you join us back for that one. But back to this Mustang. The engine in this one is the V6 double overhead cam AKY. I don't know if it stays that one when we swap it into the Hot Wheels version. If not, we'll just play with whatever engine it comes with and do that one instead. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Did we get a good deal for this one, though? We did. We did. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I'm always happy about it. 3,427 as what we paid, and we could sell it for 3,906, making profit of 479 before we even begin. But yes, this is the Ford Mustang base. We are going to be swapping it into the Hot Wheels version, Hot Wheels edition, whatever you want to call it, and that will be coming next Monday. So make sure you join us back here on Monday for the beautiful Ford Mustang, where we are going to be turning it into the Hot Wheels edition. On Friday coming up will be our last episode for a little while in City Skylines. Any suggestions? Let me know in the comments down below. Always happy to hear from you guys, my wonderful audience. Some may even say fans. I'd be very happy with that. I'm not sure if fans is the correct word, but I do like it nonetheless. And then next Monday, obviously, we'll be back on the Mustang. We'll have a separate video on Wednesday. And then next Friday will be Cities Skylines 2. But anyway, don't forget to leave me a comment, especially if you have a score out of 10 for the beautiful Grim Sleeper truck. Definitely happy to hear that so we can get it on the show car board. Make sure you join us back here on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And thank you, yes, you, for sticking around to the end. I very much do appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.